What's going on, boys? It's Flaws, and in this video, we're going to be talking about how to turn 4v5s back into round wins. So, how do you get into 4v5 situations? Most of the time, it's going for aggressive plays at the start of the round, like maybe you're towards A long, or you're middle, or whatever map you're playing. You're going for a pick early on, and you just happen to lose that gunfight, right? Not the end of the world, but sometimes it seems like all like your energy in the round's completely lost. Like everyone's like sitting back spawn, or you're just not really peeking into things because you're kind of scared to give that space back and you give them a further advantage if you lose the second gunfight. But what you really want to do is immediately just start to work with your team, right? Even more so than you would on a default. Hey, that person gets picked long. Are they taking long? Did they just pick it and fall off? Is there like a little bit more pressure that they're putting towards long? Is that why they got that kill early on? Just kind of understand what your scenario is in the round and what's your win con, right? Your win con's probably not taking 1v1 duels around the map because just by numbers you're at a disadvantage. So you should start to work with your teammates, right? So group up in teams of 2 if you can, so 2 and 2, and start to work around the map. Have someone pop flash you into different areas. You can start to work around the map. Obviously, like peeking mid's probably not the best response if you have no nades. So maybe have someone smoke Xbox and work up mid. Doesn't really matter like what map you're playing. Just understand where the gaps are, and you want to try to find as much map control and map space as possible by using like your team's utility. Have someone peeking behind you, right? Go for a swing. Okay, have someone peek behind you. The 2v1 on whatever peaks you're taking. Have the op start to work around the map. But you're trying to find that 4v4, right? You're trying to find that get back in the round. You don't want the CTs just to be pushing through, so you also want to have someone holding. Maybe you have someone holding here. Okay, I'm going to start to peek cap. Okay, throw a flash or whatever it is, right? To try to help your team get out tunnels. You're always working through your utility, but keeping like a goal in mind. Okay, what are we trying to take here? Does it make sense to take mid if we're in a 4v5 and we have no utility? No, probably not. Should we group up and try to retake long? Does that make sense? Should we group up and just hit the B site, right? Like, try to find what your win con is in the round and very quickly move into it. You don't want the CTs to just start to like slowly work around the map and find that space, find that control, and they might just even come up behind you and flank from those positions that you just can't watch with like the number that you have in the round, right? So be quick, be diligent about what you're doing for the round, take that space fast, and start to work into a game plan immediately. You don't want to be the team that gets into a 4v5 and everyone's sitting back here looking for picks that just never come through. You never want to be the person that's sitting mid and just kind of waiting to get picked off by who knows, lower tons, middle, a cat. They can throw a flash as the CTs. Okay, they throw a flash over, someone peeks door, right? Flash, peeks over. Okay, now we have info of you guys too. Like, you don't want to just be in these situations where the CTs can find even more picks in the round, and then it just kind of feels like the CTs are dominating you because they really are, right? So be really quick about reacting to like those picks. Have something in mind right away, like, okay, someone get picked towards long and they're taking it. It's too long. Should we just work up cat or should we work mid to B, right? Like, there's only one goal in mind, and that's getting the bomb down immediately, right? Because then that swings the round back in your favor. Also, if you can get that pick back, a 4v4 is a great situation for the T's to be in most of the time, right? Like, that's something that you almost shoot for. You want to go for a pop flash, okay? This person dies, the second person behind them trades, and you're in a really good spot because the CTs have a gap in where they're trying to hold for the round, right? So always look for that. Have a goal in mind. If you have the nades to do it, go for an execute very quickly before they can get set up, and just kind of work around the map that way. But that's essentially how I like to play it on the T side. Like, just don't be the person who sits back and lets the round kind of end and lets the CTs control how the round's going to be played out, right? Now going over to the CT side. If someone gets picked early on, it's usually because they're playing too aggressive, or they just kind of got like spammed through a smoke, or they got naded out, which isn't usually the worst case, right? Like, let's say you're going towards long, someone throws some pop flashes over here and you get blinded, you stay too long and you get spammed out and killed. What's the best reaction here, right? Well, the best reaction is understanding what they actually saw before they died. Did they see 3 people that are out long? Was one person just peeking long? Did they get a kill immediately? But you need to react immediately, right? Like, you can't just sit here, have someone playing mid, have someone playing cat, have someone playing B, and just kind of expect to win the round that way, right? Like, you need some sort of reaction. Are we going to go aggressive? Are we going to, we're going to stack something and hope that they just run into it? But, like, you need to even the odds in some way. Are we having an op peak mid, right? Like, what are we trying to do to get that kill back? Is there enough time where we can kind of wait and hopefully that a T, gives that kill back, right? Like, that's also pretty common, especially in like solo queue games. even though if you're down a man, like sometimes the T's don't understand that and they'll just give you a kill right back immediately. Like that's how you don't want to play. Also, if you do have the advantage, you always want to be working with your team again. You don't want to give that kill back. So on the CT side, if you can find that kill back, maybe peek mid. Okay, you find a kill here, perfect. Now we're back in a 4v4. Still not a great situation, but it's a lot better than letting them just full execute on something that's, you know, like not being watched at all. So keep that in mind. Can you go for a play where you take some map control, right? Like that's what I said on the T side. Always be trying to take map control away. Okay, if I can work mid here, or I can work tunnels with my teammate, I can start to work up here. Do I see anyone? No, it's cleared out here. Okay, it's clear tunnels. A really good chance that's going to be mid or A, guys. That information is huge, right? You can have your mid player smoke off mid, start to work back towards the A site. They can watch the cross, or they can work up onto the site and hold with your teammate, but they at least have, like, even if they do commit like through mid, right? Which is possible. You're at least giving yourself a chance in the round, and a higher percentage chance that if they do make the most, like the highest stat play, like the most likely play to happen, that you're already there and ready to kind of shut that down. So always just try to work your map control, like have good communication of how many actually were there when your teammate did get picked. Can you start to work this cat area with your teammate? Like, can you start to work mid? Do you want to retake long, right? Like, is it kind of like died down enough where you can start to have someone creep up long? You know, they're working up here, they might catch the T's off guard. Someone throws a flash over the top, you peek out, get 1 kill, get 2 kills, and fall back out. You always want to be trying to get more information and more map control around the map. Even if you are at a disadvantage, try to find those advantages like I said earlier. But that's really it, guys. If you guys are having trouble with 4v5s, I hope this video helped you guys out. Try to get those rounds back in your bag. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.